So Sammy started playing football when he was 5 or 6 years old. Um, his older brother Austin played football, and he had got to the point in Pop Warner that he was moving on to middle school. I coached him up to that point, and he lets his actions speak for him. He goes out there, you tell him, Sam, this is what I need. It's a simple yes, sir, or yes, coach, and that's what he does. And he's been like that since 5 or 6 years old. Very dedicated to football.
Yeah, I played HYL. I played with a whole bunch of people that I play with now, so it's been really fun growing up with them and learning to play the game with them. We traveled all around Florida, Central Florida. It was a good time playing against the teams. We still play against the same people now.
It was special to me to be able to coach both my sons and Sammy because you get to watch their development. You get to watch how they're taking the game on. I'm a coach that's always went out there and coached for the team. I've never coached just for my son. Um, so there's always a feeling that am I playing my son too much? Sammy ran the ball, and when he ran the ball, he ran the ball, and he scored touchdowns. And when he played defense, it was if we were getting beat in one location, that's where you moved number six at the time. He wore number six, and you move old number six, and you'd hear that other sideline, block number six, because number six was killing him out there. And he sees the field very well. Um, he wasn't always the fastest. He is very quick, but he wasn't the fastest. But he always had that step because he sees the field and sees the plays very, very well.
So as I started moving up in middle school, um, Coach Neal was the defensive coordinator at Parrott, and he kind of took me under his wing, learning how to play defense, how to play linebacker, learning coverages and gaps, and a whole bunch of different all new vocabulary, new stuff for football. And I was just learning and learning more and more and more, and just ended up getting a lot better, a lot quicker, good at reading the offensive line.
Sixth grade to eighth grade, I stepped away from coaching because I want him to get another aspect, another perspective on football. It was nice to watch him. They had undefeated seasons when he was out there, so um, yeah, I've always watched him and watched how quick he was to the ball, and that's how he went through middle school is just being out there, and that's where he really started becoming bigger, and striking even harder.
Sam is he's a tough guy. He's an old school guy. He falls in that category. We always said there's players that would have been good 10 years ago, or tough good tough players 10 years ago. There's ones that could have done it 20 years ago, and there's one that could have done it whether it's 1922 or 2022. And he falls in that category. Sam really enjoys football. He really enjoys playing football. There's a lot of times I have to pull him out of practice just because he's another one. He wants to play scout defense, and he wants to play scout kickoff team and stuff like that. And I have to remind him. I said, I want you to be a good player on Friday, not on Tuesday afternoon. Let's get what we need, but let's not empty the tank before the game. But Sam's a good football player. He does his homework too. He does his film work. He knows the checks. He knows the defense inside and out.
Yeah, so when he came to high school as a freshman, he'd been playing with a lot of these kids already for years. So they knew who Sammy was, and they knew that Sammy played football. So he played JV for a few games, and they moved him up to varsity pretty quick. And he started getting some reps on varsity his freshman year. Like I said, all the kids knew who he was, so they knew that he was out there to play football. And then since then, he's been a starting linebacker on the defense of the Hernando Leopards.
So it was definitely a huge jump coming in that summer and seeing all the seniors upcoming seniors like lifting as much weights as they were. It just really motivated me to get on their level, get faster, stronger, and I just really put my mind to it and started working to be better. So my sophomore season, I started the spring game, and a lot of people didn't think I could really play on that level, but Coach Druko kind of believed in me, and I just took off from there. And going into my junior year with Coach Garcia coming in, and he brought in Jeremiah Jackson. Jeremiah taught me a lot about the game, just stuff I've never really seen before, and it took me to a whole nother level. And then just coming to my senior year, still having Coach Garcia, I just got better at my technique, got faster, more agile, stronger, and so everything I did from my sophomore year got a little bit better in my junior year, and then from my junior year to my senior year, it's just gotten faster, stronger, and better at my ability.
Sammy lifts weights for football, and he even when he was younger, he was wanting to work out, and I was brought up that you don't want to get him started too early because of injuries. So I made him wait. His freshman year is actually when he started truly lifting weights, and that was to become bigger and stronger for football. So as a junior, he Sammy made it through districts. He placed to make it to regionals as a junior, and when he got to regionals, he actually was trying to place higher, so he tried to lift a little more weight than he should have, instead of going the safe way and placing for state.
So I started weightlifting as a freshman, more just to help me get bigger for football. But once I started throwing out more weight, I took it more serious. I wanted to beat people. I wanted to come in first place. So with COVID in my sophomore year or my junior, both of them, they just canceled a lot of the meets. But last year, I came in first place every meet except the regional meet. So I took that to a big step. Hopefully this year I can make a state run, maybe be a state champion. We'll see. We'll see how strong I am, how strong everybody else is.
He likes the weight room too. Like he does. He likes the weight room because we lift every day during in season too. We lift Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He likes the weight room. He likes to work.
Well, academically, Sammy, he's always known a C. We'll get him kicked off of sports. I want them to do A's and B's. I mean, that's part of their main goal is schooling. Sports is a secondary thought. No matter how good you do, you need to get your education. And Sammy's pretty much since been in high school, he's been straight A's. I think he's carrying a weighted GPA of like a 3.9 right now. He's not pushed. He does it all his own. Sammy, you got homework? Yeah, I've already done it, Dad. I don't wake him up in the mornings. He wakes up himself. He goes to school. He does what he has to do.
Keeping my academics up, I was never really allowed to slack in school. It was always school first. I wasn't allowed to get any B or lower I wasn't allowed to get. So I had to make sure I had to keep my grades up. I wasn't going to be allowed to play football if I had bad grades, so it was really big to me. Usually when I'm struggling with a class or something, I'll get a good relationship with the teacher, and one of my elective periods I'll usually they'll let me go up there and we have like one-on-one conversations, and it helped me with the class more. It's when I'm just struggling, I better understand the subject.
He wants to go to a college and play football, and as his dad, that's what I want. I would like to see him walk into these stadiums that are rocking and vibrating, and you can't hear yourself think, and I want that for him. If he goes down the road and decides not to play football, I'm okay with that too. As long as he's doing what he wants to do and he's happy doing it, Dad's on board.
We always look at it as that Monday through Thursday, we give them answers to the quiz, and the exam's on Friday. And once you're in the exam, we can't. It's very limited to what we can do. Now it's on you. Hopefully, we've done our job as coaches and prepared you enough. But once you time to sit down and circle those answers, it's on you. And I think he has embraced that. And the questions he asks are really good football questions. They're higher level football questions. They're not, what do we do on this? It's that next level is like, well, when we check to this and they adjust to our check, do we have another one? That's a great football question. And we will get together on the sideline after defense comes off the field, and we'll try to put the pieces, try to put some paint where it ain't, he's good at that because he does understand it, and he can get them going. He can get our kids going, and, you can't ask for more than that.
Actually, Coach Garcia called me and asked if I would help the team out. This is his last year. It's an opportunity for me to spend that last year with my son and the last year of college football. My oldest son, his brother, has already graduated. I enjoyed his journey. And I'd probably say I did it more for selfish reasons for myself to get that quality time with him. but it's nice to be able to get out there and see him during those sweaty practices where otherwise I wouldn't see him. So it's been a true pleasure, and I got to thank Coach Garcia for allowing me to come out there his last season, as far as high school, I should say, and see that last little bit of growth that I'm going to be able to be involved in. So, yeah, it's been a real pleasure to do that.
Sam had some good games last year for us. He had 87 tackles. I'm not sure how many tackles for loss, a couple sacks. But the game that sticks out to me was the Lecanto game, and the play that stands out. We scored 2 on them real quick, so it's 15-8, and they ran jet sweep to our sideline, to their right, our left, and he makes a tackle, and he gets up, and his pinky was pointing out sideways, and he looks at it and he shows me, and I said, "You good?" And he pops it back in place. And he goes, "I'm good," and that was it. Didn't call for the trainer, didn't call for ice, didn't call for anything, and that was when I knew. Okay, well, they're not gonna have a chance to score again on this.
My last home game, I'm just going to go out there and play like I played every other game. Obviously, there's going to be more emotion. I'm gonna try to hit a little bit harder than I usually do, but I'm just going to go out there and play my game, hopefully do the best I can.
That's all he wants, just play football. So everything else comes around it. He's so humble about it. And that's probably my proudest. He makes me proud of how good he is, because it makes me look like I've done my job exceptionally well as a father. So, yeah, he's a great kid.
I'm looking forward to continuing my academic and athletic career at a college. I can't wait to play football at the next level.